Shalom, everybody. Hope y'all having a blessed day. This video is going to be talking about racism. Just some straight talk here while I'm riding down the road. And I kind of want to talk about the mindsets of our people and how we're being treated and how it affects them. But it's affecting them because they're in a blind state of mind and they don't really know what's going on. And I want to try to give you a deeper look inside of what's really going on. And some of you may have figured this out. But if you wanted to racism and how they treat our people, if you really think about it, you know, and you go into the laws, you know, when you know the laws, those of you who study, and you know, actually study the laws, you will know that everything, most of the things that they're doing to us today, you know, since we've been in these other nations, you know, since the time of our ancestors have served over here, most of the things that they do is the things that we done to them. But let me explain it. See, because the way that we did it was in a holy way, but the way that they do it is in a very evil way. See, because when we did these things to them, it was because of the law, statutes, and commandment that the Most High gave to us, and how we should conduct ourselves when dealing with Gentiles or around Gentiles, period. So now you can see how we are being afflicted. It's from jealousy of what was done to them because of the special people that we are. Racism. Listen up carefully. And I'm just, you know, try to hit a few points here. Like, they would, you know, back before we came out of the, you know, the very physical part of slavery, our people couldn't go into the same buildings as them. We couldn't drink from the same water fountains, you know. We couldn't do interracial marriage. We couldn't do any of those things. And even when I mean, some of those things are implemented today, but, you know, in a different fashion. I mean, you still have places that you can't go, that you're not allowed because of who you are, to intermingle with them. Even in the financial system, we are treated less. We cannot get what they get. And our interest on whatever loans we may borrow is going to be higher than theirs, for the most part. But I'm going to take you into the law, statutes, and commandments. I mean, you can go check them yourself. Okay? The same things that they doing, even though they're doing it in an evil way, we did it to them, but it was in a very holy way. All these things are in the Bible. You just got to think about it and think about what you're reading. We wasn't allowed to bring Gentiles in the temples or anything like that. We wasn't allowed to bring them in the temples. They had to stay on the outer courts. Only Israelites can go into the temples. Things like that. We didn't deal with Gentiles on the most part, dealing with anything. Of course, you know, we did not do interracial dating. We did not intermingle with other nations as far as giving our daughters and our sons to them. The Most High was against that. He told us not to do that. So you see, they're doing the same things. Even when it comes into the financial system, you can go check it in the laws. The Most High gave us a set of laws to conduct ourselves when dealing with Gentiles on a financial level. If they came to borrow money. If our own people came to borrow money, the law was what we gave to them, they would pay that same amount back. If it was a Gentile, it was required that you charge that Gentile interest when paid back. All these things are in the laws, it's in the Bible. If you go check it and if you read it. So everything that they're doing to us today, we did to them. But like I said, what comes attached with theirs is evil. They do things in a very evil way because of who we are, because they hate Jacob. That's the difference behind it. So that's where your racism come from. So now you see how we're being treated. It's because, you know, at one point in time, they envied us. Okay? And now, you know, they want to be us, but they also hate us. So they, you know, everything is, you know, all that hatred is coming back out because they, you know, it's coming back out as an outlash at us because of who we are. You know, we're a very special nation. We is one particular and special nation. And they know this. So that's where your racism come from. But the only reason they can do that is because our people are blind. And that's what I want to point out. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, the state of minds of our own people. They've been, you know, all these things that are being done to them is being done to them while they're in the state of mind of being blind. If our people was awake and knew who they were and still was keeping the laws, at least for the most part, they would not even be dealing with the Gentiles like that. So the Gentiles wouldn't be able to pull the stunts that they pull right now. They wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to tell them to, you know, go back to Africa. They wouldn't have never came here in the first place. Although, you know, we was brought over here by force, but I'm just saying, they wouldn't have came here in the first place unless they was brought here by force. And any one of us would be glad to go back home. They wouldn't tell us, you know, that we can't come into this same building or same school or whatever, you know, with their people, because we wouldn't have never done it in the first place. Our people dealt with our own people. They wouldn't have been able to tell us not to intermarry with their women. Our men and women would have been nowhere over there near them to marry them. They would not have dealt with them on that level. That would have been a major insult to even think about that. They would turn their nose up quick just at the mention of it. The only reason our people are doing what they do today because they're in a blind state of mind. They are put in a position, which of course is by the Most High, as punishment to, you know, they're finding themselves, you know, they're looking for acceptance and they don't know who they are. So they want to cling to the Gentile nations for acceptance and for love and to be liked, at least just to be liked. So everything that the Gentiles have, they want to be a part of it. You know, they want to celebrate their holidays. You know, they want to intermarry with their men and their women, all just to be accepted. You know, want to go all up into the government. You know, even in the laws it tells us, you know, we didn't deal with anybody else's government except for our own. We didn't even take our people to court in another government system at all. We dealt with our own people. So now you see that everything that they're doing today, it's the same thing we did to them, but with theirs, it's attached evilness. Ours was holy. You know, the way that he told us to do it, it was attached to do it in a holy way. So now our people, you know, they're pulling this stunt on our people in blind mode. Now for the Israelites that are awake, they can't do that with them. They cannot do it to us who are awake because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They cannot do that to us. We don't deal with them like that. We don't. And they know it. They know when they come across, you know, an Israelite, or at least a conscious person, a conscious Negro that's, you know, that's awake in some type of way. They do not deal with them. And it frustrates them because they cannot use that to attack them because it doesn't work. The same tactic of racism does not work. And that's kind of what I just wanted to pull out today, because I'm just riding down the road, you know, I'm just thinking. And I just, you know, for some, that's important to understand. And to kind of show you on a deeper level what the people, you know, what these Gentile people are doing to our people today. And it all comes from hatred because of who we are and what was done to them, because we are a special nation by his covenant. And even when we go back into the land, that same covenant is going to be applied. And guess what? They know that. What's their biggest problem? What's Gentiles' biggest problem today with the Bible? It's the covenant. Not just the fact that they don't want to keep it. They know that that covenant, a lot of things in it, is applied to not dealing with them and things they can and cannot do, which separates us from them and separate us as the top lead nation. And they know that. That's one of the biggest reasons they have a problem with the laws in the Bible. Bring out one of them laws that says how to deal with Gentiles and other nations and see the reaction that you get from them. They're going to be like, oh, that's not fair. We ain't supposed to be following the laws anyway. That's one of their biggest problems with the laws, I'm telling you. I've done it 100 times. I talk to them. They get so angry when dealing with those certain laws when it comes to dealing with